Okay, question number 1. We begin by expanding the brackets first. So y equals 6x cubed minus 3x squared plus 6x. Okay, and now we can differentiate it term by term. So y dash is 18x squared. That becomes minus 6x, and the 6x becomes a 6. Okay, question number 2. We begin by expanding the brackets. F of x equals minus 8x to the 6 plus 12x to the 9 minus 16x to the 8. Okay, and now we can differentiate it. So f dash of x, that's minus 48 x to the 5, it's 108 x to the 8, and that's 80 plus 48, so that's minus 128 x to the 7. Okay, question number 3. We begin by expanding the brackets. So d dx, that's a 6x squared. So minus 8x plus 3x is minus 5x. That's minus 4. And now we can differentiate it. It becomes 12x, and that becomes a minus 5. And the minus 4 becomes a 0. So question number 4, we need to differentiate this double bracket. We begin by first expanding it. So it's x to the 5, then minus x cubed, and then plus 2x squared, and minus 2. And now we can differentiate it. dy dx, x to the 5 becomes 5x to the 4, minus, and the x cubed becomes 3x squared. That becomes 4x, and this constant term disappears. So question number 5, we're given that g of x is x plus 1 all cubed, and we begin by expanding the triple bracket. So I'll first write out the 3 brackets, and then I'll expand the second 2. So you get x squared plus 2x plus 1 when you expand that. And now we can expand this, so the x will multiply all those 3 terms. So here we get x cubed plus 2x squared plus x, and then we have the 1 will multiply those 3, so you get an x squared plus 2x plus 1. And then we collect like terms. If x cubed, you have these two, that's 3x squared. And these two becomes 3x. And the plus 1 in its own. Okay, now that we've expanded it, we can now differentiate it term by term. G dash of x becomes 3x squared. That becomes 6x. That linear term becomes a 3. And that plus 1 becomes a 0. Okay, question number 6. We've got a function h of x equals this. And we begin by expanding this. So the first thing I'll do, I'm just going to write out the double bracket. And now we can expand this. So that gives you x to the 200 because you add the indices. Then you have 3x to the 100 and another 3x to the 100, so you have 6 in total. And then you have plus 9. And now we can differentiate. So the 200 comes down and minus 1 of the power, and the 100 comes down, multiplies to 6, you get 600, and minus 1 of the power, and the plus 9 becomes a 0. Okay, question number 7, we need to differentiate this double bracket, and we begin by expanding this. So you get ax to the 6 minus 4a squared x squared, and then this is a plus 3x to the 4, and then we get a minus 12a. Okay, and now we can differentiate each term separately. 6a x to the 5, and here that 2 comes down and not that 2. So when that 2 comes down, we get a minus 8 a squared x. That 4 comes down, 12x cubed, and that's a constant term, becomes a 0. Okay, question number 8, we're given a function y equals x minus root 3 all cubed, and we need to differentiate it. So we begin first by expanding the triple bracket. I'll write it out first. And I'll expand the second 2 first. So that gives you x squared. Then you've got minus root 3x and another minus root 3x, so that's 2 of them, minus 2 root 3x, and that times that is positive 3. Okay, and now we can expand all of this, so this x is going to multiply these 3, so we get x cubed minus 2 root 3x squared plus 3x. And now the minus root 3 is going to multiply these. So here we get minus root 3x squared. and this we're going to get positive, and that will multiply, that will give you a 3, then times 2 is a 6, so this is positive 6 root x, positive 6x, and then this becomes minus 3 root 3. Okay, and then we're going to collect like terms. So x cubed, you've got these two, minus 3 root 3x squared, that gives you 9x, and that's on its own. Okay, now that it's been expanded, we can now differentiate it. We want dy dx becomes 3x squared minus 6 root 3x. That's a linear term, will become 9, and that's a constant term, will become 0. Okay, question number 9. We're given this function to differentiate, and we begin by expanding the brackets. So f of x, so 2 to the power of 5 is 32, and then x squared to the power of 5 is x to the 10. Then we just copy this one out, and here we want to square this, minus 9x squared. And now we're ready to differentiate. So f dash of x is 320 x to the 9, and that becomes 21 x squared, and that becomes minus 18x. Okay, question number 10. We begin by expanding both brackets. So that becomes 81 x to the 4. And this double bracket, we can expand this, should become x squared plus 14x plus 49. And there's no like terms, so we're ready to differentiate this. So y dash 4 times 81, that's 324. That becomes a 3. X squared becomes a 2x. The 14x becomes a 14. And the plus 49 becomes 0.